My hand is different than yours. A few years back, I had an accident where I lost all my fingers on my right hand. I talked about that accident extensively in this video. I basically couldn't use my right hand for almost a year. Once you're restricted to only one hand, you get to understand that there are a lot of tasks that require two hands, or at least make the task much faster and easier. After months of treatments, hospital visits, operations, they attached two toes from my feet to my hand. And I had to relearn a lot of daily things, and it was very tedious and sometimes very frustrating. And here are 5 things that I struggled with for some time. First, cutting my food. Do you ever think about how you cut your food? And do you ever think about how you would cut it with only 2 fingers on your hand? I had to figure out a technique to do exactly that. And for a long time, I just relied on other people to cut my food, but eventually I figured out something that worked for me. Obviously, small food like that works pretty well, but yeah, if it comes to larger portions or bigger food, I usually do then this. Hold it down and then cut. Works. Second, carrying things. Especially at the beginning, I had a hard time carrying things. Glass in the left hand, plate on my right hand, balancing it. And I dropped food countlessly, like I couldn't even tell you how much. And I was very frustrated with the whole process because something simple like that, I had a hard time doing. And when you drop things, at some point, you get very mad that you can't do something simple like that anymore. Third, writing with my left hand or 2 fingers. I still write things with my hands on a piece of paper, and I had to relearn writing with my left hand because my right hand was my dominant hand. So I did that. I learned how to write with my left hand, and once I got the 2 fingers attached, I started writing with my right hand again. It's just easier for me to write faster and more readable with my right hand, and with my left hand I have not the confidence and also not the speed. 4, wiping my ass with my left hand. That might sound weird, but after the accident I had to relearn how to clean myself properly, and my right hand was basically not working anymore to that extent, and even now with 2 fingers I don't trust myself to clean myself properly, so I had to learn how to clean myself with my left hand, and I had, let's just say, some struggles with that. I just dare you to try it out. Some of you might have that skill, but I certainly do not. 5, playing console games. I love video games. I always played video games, and once I had the accident, one of my biggest, and might sound stupid, but thoughts was, can I ever play video games again the way I used to? And obviously I had problems with a regular controller. Just simply grabbing it and pressing buttons and stuff didn't really work with my hand anymore. So I had to figure out a way to play where I used my right leg or foot and my left hand and play with a simple controller like that. With a regular controller I still had some limitations, but with a controller like this, the Elite controller with the bumpers on the back of the controller, I was able to map functions to those 2 buttons, and I was able to not only play faster but also adapt my technique, train my big toe to aim, for example, on shooter games, and yeah, I'm pretty good right now. There are 2 things that I've learned from going through this experience. First, you will adapt. And if you're willing to learn, and most of the time you have to, then you can almost accomplish anything. And I fully mean that. I'm sure it will be frustrating and tedious and sometimes maybe a little, hard, but it's worth it in the end. And just take it from me, you can do that. Second, we take too many things for granted. I'm not saying that we should run around being aware and grateful for every small thing all the time, but at the same time, I think we should be thankful, appreciative, and grateful for the health and for the bodies we've got. And sometimes just think about other people and their maybe worse or more difficult situations, which puts things in perspective. Thanks for watching, liking, and subscribing, and I hope to see you next time.